Hi, Nina. Thank you for taking your time to talk to me today. You're part of the Center for Peace and Violence Prevention, short CPVP.
Mhm.
Give us a short introduction on yourself and on the organization as well, please.
Okay, good morning, Ronja. Thank you for having me and thank you for the chance for this interview. So I am the country director Austria from the Center for Peace and Violence Prevention. We are a global community that wants to promote peace and also tries to assist in conflict management. We have very diverse projects from school and education projects through over violence prevention projects to our emergency projects. The organization was founded in 2012 in Nigeria, and from that it spread it globally.
Great, thank you. So I have a couple of questions prepared for you today. Let's just dive in. Let's talk about the project you're crowdfunding for right now, but just in a minute. Before that, I would like to also briefly mention that you already, prior to this one, crowdfunded for another project, also focusing on Mali. Mali,
Yes.
a country in West Africa, is faced with a lot of conflict, social issues such as interethnic conflicts and so on. Could you just briefly explain why there's such a focus on Mali, and as well just give us a short overview on the situation of the country right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually we crowdfunded 2 projects prior to this one because we have been made aware of the situation in Mali last year. The conflict, in fact, is going on since 2012. It's an armed conflict in the north of the country, where in fact the Islamic State and many of the peacekeeping troops from the UN and also the Malian army truly fight for many, many years. Many people from the north it was necessary for them to migrate to the south, mainly to the capital city, because in the south it's very safe. I have been there personally, and you truly could not sense that there is a war going on in the north. But still, besides that, there are also the interethnical conflicts, as you mentioned, and yeah, the situation is very drastical, to be honest, because many people are just homeless. Many people turned into refugees from one day to another. Yes, so our first projects have also been emergency supplies, and the second one was in order to provide shelter for the most vulnerable of these communities. So when we have been made aware of the camp in Faladié in Bamako, in the capital city, there were only around 300 people. But due to the conflicts that get more extreme every day, to call it like that for the lack of a better word, the numbers are drastically rising. When I have been there personally in January this year, there have been more than 1,500 people. When we have seen the camp, we figured out that it has been a dump site before the people have been relocated there. So we decided to build the tents that could provide shelter for the people in another camp in the Central Mable it's in Sogoniko, also in Bamako. We built the tents there and relocated also many people. So we encouraged them to move to the other camp. Still, many people stayed there because, to be honest, it is their home after they turned into refugees, and many of them did not want to give up their home on the dump site, to call it like that.
Okay. You've mentioned Faladié, that's the refugee camp we will talk about right now. Just for everyone who isn't aware, it's in the northwest of Bamako. Bamako is the capital city of Mali. In this camp, were there mainly IDPs living, internally displaced people, or are there refugees as well from other countries?
Well, we have to keep in mind that Mali is truly a country, it's like a migration hub, because it's a key area for many refugees from other countries moving, for example, to Europe or to the north, or also to other countries. So mainly we have people from the ethnical tribe of the Fulani there, but also other tribes of Mali, and also international migrants. So the people are very diverse there.
Thank you. Let's just talk about the project you're currently crowdfunding for. In Faladié, there was a huge fire outbreak just end of April. And as you mentioned, more than 1,500 people are affected by this fire. How is the situation now? Where are the people right now? What is going on?
Yes, so the fire in fact was very drastical. It broke out in the morning and it was going on the whole day. So everything was destroyed. Not only the tents, the few tents we have built in Falade, but also the old ones of the refugees. And we have to keep in mind that the Fulani are very fond of animals, so they live with their goats and cows and horses and also donkeys and other animals. Many of them have been killed by the fire, so there is no base for living anymore for them. The people are still there. In fact, I mean, they are homeless and they try to rebuild their home, but it's not possible for them. Even the last amount of rice has been hit by the fire. So they are truly homeless. They are on the street and stand there with nothing left.
So you're currently crowdfunding for the basic necessities, essentially. And anyone who's watching this and want to contribute, you can go on Respekt.net and donate if you can. Do you know what other organizations are on the field right now? Is UNHCR there? Is the government involved? Who is there and helping the people?
So we are personally in contact with the UN, with OCHA, and also, I mean, the UN mission of Mali, MINUSMA, is also there. We are in contact with them, but still we have to keep in mind that their processes take a lot of time because the organizational aspects are enormous. And as far as we are concerned, no emergency supply has been given to the people yet. So the government is also involved. They are aware of the refugee camp, but despite the fact that Mali is a very, to call it like friendly country, and they have a friendly mentality towards foreigners, still the government suggests that the people leave the capital again and move back to the north, which is actually not possible. So the situation is quite problematic, and also the involved people are struggling with the processes to get supply for these people.
So there's also no way of telling right now if the refugee camp is going to be rebuilt or if the people will be transferred to another camp or to another location?
Well, our intention is that the people are also being relocated to other camps. The problem is, for example, the other camp we take care of right now, Centre Mable, it's already full, and the food supply is not enough for all the people that are there. And there are only 2 other refugee camps in Bamako. And the situation is not optimal, to call it like that.
Thank you. So before we finish this interview, I would also like to ask you a question regarding the coronavirus, given that we're just in the midst of a pandemic. This virus will have huge repercussions globally, but especially in the Sahel, where there are lots of refugee camps that are overcrowded, who do not have the means to prevent such an outbreak. Do you have any insights what the virus right now, how the virus is impacting the people in Mali right now, as well as do you think that this virus could lead to even more conflict?
Yes, so what we can be sure of is that the coronavirus is a global problem. Even though the numbers in Africa are way lower than in Europe, still the global south faces the problems of worse sanitation systems, especially, as you mentioned, in refugee camps, because so we have to keep in mind that those people do not even have enough water to keep themselves hydrated. So there is for sure not enough water to keep their hands washed all the time. But people take this very serious, so they have been made aware that it's very dangerous. So as in Europe, people are wearing face masks, try to continue with social distancing. And as far as we are concerned, the problem of coronavirus is not that drastical in Mali as it is here. But also we have to take into account that there are not as many doctors as here, there are not as many possibilities to do tests and even find out how many people are infected already. Concerning your question, if coronavirus might even intensify conflicts, to be honest, I do not see myself in a situation of giving a forecast here. Of course, that is more like a political question as well. So I cannot give any forecast here.
Okay, thank you. That was all my questions for today. Thank you so much for taking the time. Again, if anyone wants to donate and help out, you can do it on Respekt.net. And thank you, Nina, so much for all your input.
Thank you, Ronja. Thank you very much.